Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Simple English Podcast. I'm Lisa, your host, and today we're diving into a really important topic, protecting the environment. We hear about climate change, pollution, and deforestation all the time, but why should we, as individuals, care? And what can we actually do about it? To help answer these questions, I'm joined by Alex, who's an environmental expert and passionate about sustainability. Don't forget to check out the free PDF file in the comment section below to get the full transcript and new vocabulary for this episode. Hi, Alex. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Lisa. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here and talk about something that's so close to my heart.
Awesome. So, let's not waste any time and jump right into it. All right, Alex. I think a lot of people feel overwhelmed by all the talk about environmental problems. From your perspective, why is protecting the environment so important?
You're right, Lisa. There's a lot of information out there, and it can be overwhelming. But the truth is, the environment affects everything in our lives. We depend on nature for basics like food, water, and clean air. Without a healthy environment, it becomes harder to live a healthy life. Protecting it is really about protecting ourselves and future generations.
That's a great point. Sometimes it feels like the environment is something separate from us, but we're really part of it, right?
Exactly. We're part of the same system. When we pollute the air, we're breathing that air. When we harm ecosystems, we're affecting the food chain that we rely on. So it's all interconnected. One example is climate change. As the planet warms, we're seeing more extreme weather, floods, heat waves, wildfires. These events directly impact our lives, our homes, our food supply, and even our health.
And we're already seeing those changes now, right? It's not just something that will happen in the future.
Absolutely. It's not a future problem. It's happening right now. We're seeing glaciers melt, rising sea levels, stronger storms, and more droughts in many parts of the world. Just look at the wildfires we've had recently. These are warning signs that our environment is changing rapidly, and we need to act now to slow it down.
So what are some of the most critical things we need to do to help protect the environment? Can regular people really make a difference?
Yes, absolutely. It can feel like individual actions are small, but when millions of people make small changes, it adds up. One of the easiest ways to start is by reducing waste. Simple things like using reusable bags, bottles, and containers can reduce the amount of plastic pollution in our oceans. Another important step is cutting down on energy consumption. Using energy-efficient appliances, turning off lights when you don't need them, and supporting renewable energy sources are all effective ways to reduce your carbon footprint.
Those are great tips. But what about things we can't control, like big industries and corporations? How do they fit into this?
That's a good question. Big industries do play a huge role, and they're responsible for a large part of the world's pollution. But change can happen when we, as consumers, demand more sustainable practices. Support businesses that use eco-friendly products or energy. Also, it's important to use your voice. Vote for leaders and policies that prioritize environmental protection. Governments can create regulations that hold companies accountable, and public pressure can push corporations to act more responsibly.
So, it's a combination of individual action and larger systemic changes?
Exactly. We need both to make real progress. When individuals push for change, it creates a ripple effect that influences industries and governments. Every action counts.
All right, Alex. Now it's time for our fun fact segment. Can you share a cool or surprising fact about the environment with us?
Sure. Here's a fun one. Did you know that sloths are great environmentalists? They're so slow that algae grows on their fur. This actually helps them blend into their surroundings and avoid predators. And on top of that, the algae in their fur helps purify the air by absorbing carbon dioxide. So, sloths are not only adorable, but also doing their part for the planet.
That is amazing. Who would have thought sloths were so eco-friendly? They're like tiny green warriors.
And it just goes to show how nature has its own systems for balance, and we can learn a lot from it.
Well, Alex, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today. I think you've really helped break down why protecting the environment is something we should all care about, and you've shown that it's not as overwhelming as it seems.
Thanks, Lisa. It was great to be here, and I hope listeners feel encouraged to take small steps toward helping the environment. Every action we take matters, no matter how small it may seem.
Definitely. So, to our listeners, let's remember, whether it's reducing plastic use, saving energy, or pushing for larger policy changes, we all have a role to play in protecting the planet. Together, we can make a difference. Now it's time to learn some important vocabulary related to the topic environment. Sustainability. Definition: the ability to maintain or preserve resources and ecological balance without depleting them for future generations. Example: sustainability means using energy sources like wind and solar power instead of fossil fuels to protect our planet. Biodiversity. Definition: the variety of plant and animal life in a particular habitat or in the world as a whole. Example: the Amazon rainforest is home to incredible biodiversity, with thousands of species found nowhere else. Deforestation. Definition: the large-scale removal of trees and forests, often to make way for agriculture or urban development. Example: deforestation in tropical areas is leading to loss of habitat for many endangered species. Carbon footprint. Definition: the total amount of greenhouse gases, especially carbon dioxide, that are emitted by human activities, typically measured per individual or organization. Example: you can reduce your carbon footprint by using public transport and recycling more. Renewable energy definition: energy that comes from natural sources that can be replenished, like sunlight, wind, and water. Example: countries are investing in renewable energy like solar and wind power to reduce dependence on fossil fuels. Ecosystem. Definition: a community of living organisms and their physical environment, interacting as a system. Example: coral reefs are one of the most diverse ecosystems in the world, supporting a wide range of marine life. Pollution. Definition: the introduction of harmful substances or products into the environment, causing damage to the natural world. Example: air pollution in major cities is a serious health risk due to high levels of smog and particulate matter. Greenhouse effect. Definition: the warming of Earth's surface due to gases in the atmosphere that trap heat, like carbon dioxide and methane. Example: the greenhouse effect is essential for life on Earth, but too much can lead to global warming. I hope you learned something new and helpful today. Don't forget to leave a comment what you think about. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Simple English Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. We'll be back with more interesting discussions soon.